Alright, how are y'all doing, everybody? We are back at it again, continuing the assembly of the VFR engine. So here is part of the engine assembly. This is going to be the color that we went with. Got it back from powder coating. It's just silver. I want to say it's called Stardust Silver or something like that. Don't really matter. It's a silver color. That part is done. All the bore work, honing, everything there is done. Everything on this end is done. Got the transmission back together. I did take it all apart and put it in a ultrasonic cleaner. Got that completely cleaned. We've got all the shift drum and all the shift levers. Everything has been cleaned and gone through. So this is assembled, ready to go. I'm going to start working on this piece. Is actually going to be off to the side for now, and we're actually going to be working with this piece. We're going to start working on assembling the rods and pistons, getting the ring gap set where they need to be, and so yeah. Of course, we've got the JE pistons, forged pistons. We got CP Carrillo forged rods, and I did buy this neat little contraption. This is a ring compressor, and it's 4 75mm rings, or pistons, which is the size of my bore. So that will that'll work perfect. Instead of using the old style to crank down the piston and tap it in, this just sets on there, shove the piston through, makes the job a lot easier. So let's get working on gapping some rings and assembling some pistons. Alright, so not too sure how well you'll be able to see this, but I'm going to number these just for my sake. This is going to be cylinder 1. This is cylinder 2. This is cylinder 3. And this one here is cylinder 4. Alright, so what we need to do, and we're also going to number all these pistons. This one's going to be cylinder 1. So this piston is going to go here. And the rings that I grind down will fit in this cylinder here, and then so on. So I am going to grab my springs, or yeah, the rings. Are these all in a set, or yeah, these are individual sets, so that makes things nice. So on these, that's your expansion ring. This one here is one of the oil scrapers. That's your other oil scraper. This one here is going to be, pretty sure, this is your second oil ring, or second compression ring, and this one's going to be your first one. I do want to verify that though. Alright, so on the piston rings, I doubt you'll be able to see this, but if you look, this edge right here is chamfered, and then there's an N here, so that means that this piston ring, the N is going to face up, and this is going to be the top piston ring. So we're going to leave this one as the piston ring for cylinder number 1. This one here is going to be cylinder, or the second compression ring, and then these down here. So what we're going to do is, let me get this spun around, maybe we can see this a little better. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Alright. So what we're going to do is make sure that's good and clean, no debris. We're going to close that up, set that there at the top, and you want to make sure that this piston ring is nice and square. So what you can do is take an old piston with a compression ring on it, set that in there like that, and that piston ring is going to be nice and square in there. And take our feeler gauges. We're looking for the top compression ring. We are going to be looking at 18 to 20 thousandths. So I'm going to take our 18 thousandths. Now I'm doing this a little bit more of a gap because I'm actually running boost. Your end gap for NA is going to be a little bit tighter, but for boost I'm looking between 18 20 thousandths. That is tight. 18 thousandths will not fit. I personally would prefer it to be a little on the looser side, so I'm going to try to aim for about 20. So we're going to take this little tool, and this we're going to put piston ring right up against there. You only want to cut on one side. We're going to slowly work on getting this thing trimmed up, but I do need to bring this to the edge so I can spin this piece. So you don't want to chip up the corner of your piston ring, and you want to make sure that you're going from the top. Alright, so to push down on this, I want to spin this way. So we're gonna put that there. We're just gonna take a hair. We're gonna take just that. That might be enough. I'll make sure there's no edge on that. And we'll come back over here. We're going to put this in again. We're going to take our old piston, square this up, just like so. We're going to take our feeler gauge. I'm at 18 thousandths right here. That was not enough. This may take several tries. I would rather come up on it slowly than to go way past it. So this is kind of a one-shot deal. If I mess this up, then I have to order a new set of piston rings. Alright, so add in, oops, not enough. It's a very, very slow, tedious process. 18 thousandths. 18 thousandths fits, but it's a little snug. Like I said, it goes between 18 and 20. I'd rather it be a little on the loose side. Oh. 18 thousandths fits.
See how well 20 thousandths fits. There's 19. We'll try 19 first. 19 fits. 20 thousandths. It's there, but it's a hair snug. I'm going to take just a touch off that edge right there. You want to be careful not to chip that. If it chips, then it's going to score up the cylinder wall. There's that, and we got our 20 thousandths. Weird. Try this again. Alright, there we go. 20 thousandths. Just to double check, we're going to run another 19. 19 should fit in there and not drag, so we're good on that one. There's the first piston ring. The second piston ring on this one, I'm actually going to want a little bit looser. So this one I want 23 to 25 thousandths. So I'm going to look up. There's 23 thousandths right there. I know obviously that's not going to fit, but yeah. Let's see here. Let's try 18 thousandths. 18. It's snug at 18. So we got to take about 5 thousandths off of this one. No. We got to take about 7 thousandths. That's about 20. Probably about 19 thousandths, honestly, but that will work. So I did forget my expander at the house or at the shop. So what we are going to do is we're going to put, we want to start with this one. This one goes all the way down here on the bottom, just like so. We got one of these. This one here is going to go along like that. So, and we'll take our second one and put it above, oops, above the expander. And we want to double check. There's a gap, there's a gap. Not that it's super critical, but we'll orient those different. So that is the oil control rings, and we're going to attempt to open this up. you want to try not to scratch the side of the piston. There's our second compression ring. I did put that, yeah. And this one here is our top compression ring. And these you want to orient different sides. They say that you should orient these, you know, there's like different points. However, your piston rings are going to spin inside the piston, so it's not you know, it's not super critical, but I try to at least orient them in different positions. So now a tool that I have, I'll show you this one here. Once I go to do all the assembly, this will slide in here like so, and then set that there, just push straight in. Makes life so easy. I don't have any oil on, well, I've got some oil, but I don't have the piston rings in, or I don't have the rods in yet. So we're going to assemble the rods. Now I will say on this, I did leave my assembly lube at the shop, so I have no assembly lube here. So for now, there is piston, maybe, there we go. There is piston number 1. Another trick, once I get done putting all this together, all the rotating assembly and everything, crankshaft, this is all bolted down, then what I'm going to end up doing is taking the feeler gauges, and I bought 4 of these actually. So I bought 4. What I'm going to do is, I've already pre-measured these 3 feeler gauges together is going to equal the compressed thickness of my copper head gaskets. So 80 thousandths. So these are going to measure, these 3 together measures 80 thousandths. My plan is to take out of the 4, I'm going to lay 1 across each corner, set the head on there, just kind of snug it down. Like I said, this is 80 thousandths, so it don't have to be super tight, but I want to get it snug. Rotate everything over, make sure everything clears, make sure I've got enough valve clearance, because I am putting in pistons out of another engine into this engine, and I'm doing something here that, you know, I as far as I'm aware, hasn't really been done. I know on one of the engines that I'd looked at, a cheap version of the big bore the big bore kit for a VFR 750 is to take a CBR 900 or CBR 929 piston, which is 74 millimeters, shave 30 thousandths off the top of it around the edge, like, I don't know, 1/8 inch in, and that'll clear the cylinder. Rather than doing that, what I've decided I'm going to do is raise the cylinder 30 thousandths, deck the surface of the cylinder 30 thousandths, so that way essentially what should theoretically happen is, like, if this was the cylinder, I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see it. If this was the cylinder, I'm going to raise it, I'm going to close this gap in so that way it comes back down. This theoretically should be the same height, so my cam drive should be in the exact same plane, right? If that makes sense. All I'm doing is raising, this is staying here, all I'm doing is raising the bottom, the surface of the head up the 30 thousandths to get the clearance on this, because the compressed thickness on the cylinder head, or the gasket stock, is 49 thousandths. The closest I could get to 30 thousandths above that is with the 80 thousandths head gaskets. So that's why I went this route. I wanted MLS, I did not want copper. However, copper was the only way that I could go to get the thickness that I needed with the bore size that I needed. So that's why we went with the copper head gasket. So with that, I'm going to continue working on the other cylinders. I'm sure y'all don't really want to see me sit here and do this again and again and again. It's very tedious. So I'm going to get that knocked out, and then tomorrow I will be back and assembling the rods. Now the rods, like discussed, is these are CP Carrillo forged rods. So these will be going in here. I've got to get some assembly lube for the wrist pin. I can't assemble this without the wrist pin assembly lube, so I got to get that from the shop. Alright, how's it going, everybody? Back at it again. Well, we're not back at it again, but this is kind of where we left off. We've got the piston rings gapped for the proper clearance and everything. Got them on the pistons. I've been waiting on the heads to come back. I'm still waiting on those. I'm hoping I'll get them this week. What else have we got? It's kind of about where we're at right now. So there has been a little bit of an issue that has came up that is hindering me from continuing on with this build right now. I will continue on it. It's just going to be a little bit. It's going to be a couple months. I was in a fairly severe motorcycle accident. Luckily, this is the only damage that I sustained. I have a shattered wrist, almost lost my hand, broke the bone just below the elbow, and I severed the ulnar nerve. So this project is on delay. The bike is still full swing ahead. It's not. We're not slowing down on that. It's still getting built. Should be finished in June, hopefully. So with that, the engine and everything should still be on schedule. Still hoping to be on schedule, but there is going to be some change of plans. I don't think I'm going to be able to ride a bike for 1.0 race week. So I'm going to actually be just driving the course with my dad in his truck. So there won't be any filming or anything like that. This weekend, actually today, yesterday and the day before, was the first drag and drive event of the season, which was the circuit. I was going to do that on the V-Rod, but this happened just before that, so I can't ride a bike. The one in September I should be good for. Should be able to go and do the race and everything like that. So I really don't know what I'm going to be able to do as far as video wise. It's going to be a while before I've really put out anything else. I know it's been long breaks between each video, but there's just a lot of it's a lot of waiting, so I'm not able to maintain good content. So unfortunately, the Harley V-Rod is totaled. The frame is cracked on it. It's like $18,000 in damage, so it's not worth it. I could buy 2 perfectly good V-Rods for the price of repairing that bike, even if I did the work on my own. So there's no getting around that. The bike is totaled. It's not going to do any good for me. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, one other thing, I did get a new GoPro. This is the GoPro 10. So hope the next video that comes out will be filmed on that. I don't know what the quality is going to be like or anything like that. I don't know anything about the 10. It may not be any different. I don't know, but you know, that is what it is. So yeah, I'll see y'all on the other side of this.